Hello Canada, this is Stephen King again of the Freedom Party of Canada. On this video we're going to talk about your freedoms and how we want to guarantee your freedoms. So what are some of those freedoms that we want to guarantee? Well, we want you to be able to use cash. We do not want central bank digital currency at all. Well, you might say, well, why is that? Digital, it's the future. Right? Digital, it's so easy. Well, digital is also very dangerous. Remember during the truckers' convoy and everything, where the Trudeau government was digitally stopping people's bank accounts, freezing their bank accounts, and all of a sudden they couldn't use their credit cards, they couldn't use any cash from their banks or anything. Very dangerous. We need to be able to use cash, which is tangible. And there's many things in life that you want to do with cash. You might want to give somebody $20 or something, or you might want to give a tip with cash. There's all kinds of things that you can give cash for. All right. You can't very well give somebody who's in need on the streets an e-transfer because they probably don't have an account. Anyway, cash is one thing we want to keep. We want freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is the most important freedom of all the freedoms. And we want to guarantee that. The Trudeau government and globalist left-wing governments across the world over the last few years have curtailed and tried to eliminate people's freedom of speech. They do things like creating hate laws. You might think, oh, well, hate laws are great. You shouldn't be able to say hateful things about someone. Yes, you should. You should be able to say anything you want about anybody. That doesn't mean there's not going to be repercussions. In the old days, you said something hateful or terrible about someone. They told you to bugger off, or worse, using worse language, or they might have taken things into their own hands. But, and I'm not advocating for that, however, there was ways of dealing with so-called hateful things. But now, who is to be the arbiter of hate? Who is to say what is hate speech and what is not? With the ultra-offended woke crowd, they want to be offended at everything you do. So we can't have that. Okay, we cannot have that. We need freedom of speech, total, absolute freedom of speech entrenched in our laws. You need to have the freedom to move about wherever you want in this country. You might think, well, I already got that right now. You ever heard of 15-minute cities? These globalists want you locked down within urban cities, want you living in high-rise apartments, in high-rise apartment buildings, just like Hong Kong, and they don't want you going out in the rural areas. They want all that land for themselves. Okay, this is very dangerous. You should have the freedom to collect rainwater and live off the grid, if you wish. Why are they so afraid of that? Now, that doesn't mean that if you're in the city, you can grow grass 6 feet tall and make your place look like crap. No. There's got to be rules about, making your place look half decent, because that affects people's houses near you and everything. But to live off the grid, why not? The freedom to choose what you do with your body. And that includes a number of things, but I'm going to leave it at that, and I'll tell you why. Because YouTube doesn't like me talking about the V. And you can just guess what the V is. Okay? Let's just say that we believe that the V has been very dangerous. And I'm going to leave it at that. All right. What else? Freedom to own a gun or a firearm. All of Trudeau's gun laws are going to be thrown out the window. And you will have that freedom. And you'll also have the freedom of self-protection. If your home is broken into or something, right now in Canada, it is so liberal, they don't even want you to protect yourself. Ridiculous. That's going to change. Freedom for parents to know what their children are being taught in school and freedom from indoctrination. Freedom how you take care of your personal health. If you don't want to take the V, you don't have to. Freedom to know that professionals are not being paid extra from companies related to medical things. We'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it a bit vague. Freedom of small business to thrive and not be overregulated by government. Freedom from schools and school teachers from keeping secrets from parents. Nobody's going to be allowed to influence a child to change their gender or try to influence them to think that they're changing their gender. That kind of stuff is going to stop. Woke is dead. Freedom from harmful things like chemtrails, GMOs, fluoride, which has been shown to be a neurotoxin. And we're going to breed bees and cows like they're coming out of your ears. They don't like bees and cows because that typifies freedom. Bees help everything grow. Cows give you the meat and the protein that you need and the milk that you need. Freedom from monopolies. Well, we'll leave it at that for that part. We're going to have a child grooming law that we're going to put into effect so that children cannot be groomed. Freedom from the indoctrination of things like the concept of climate change. Yes, the climate changes. The climate has been changing for, scientists think, millions of years. But they have used climate change as a political thing. And it's not as bad as they say. Let's put it that way. We will ban lab-grown fake meat. There will be no fake meat. Not going to be allowed. And with all the toxins that are in it. In Canada, you're innocent until proven guilty. That's going to stay. We will not allow farm animals to be injected with any kind of V. Freedom from doxing. Doxing is a practice where hateful people try to make someone's identity, address, whereabouts known to others so that those people can be harmed somehow. There's going to be heavy penalties for that. Freedom from cancel culture. It's not going to be allowed. Freedom from weather manipulation. No weather modification, no HARP, no chemtrails, and no blocking the sun, Mr. Gates. This is just lunacy. Freedom from toxins in food and water. And freedom from large internet and phone bills. We'll get into that later. Those are just many of the freedoms, and there may be more. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please check out our other videos on the website, www.freedompartyofcanada.com. Thank you and have a wonderful day.